Good afternoon, guys. It's Wednesday, January 9th. Hope everybody's doing well. Had a great morning, busy morning. Unfortunately, didn't get to start vlogging till this afternoon. It tells you how busy I've been. But I'm really excited about today's vlog. We're going to be talking about one of the topic that we discussed at yesterday's Tuesday's Together meeting, goal setting and reaching those goals. So we'll be discussing one of my year one goals today, and kind of going through kind of like a brainstorming process. And this is kind of like it's kind of like new territory for me. This is a different way of doing things. So I figured I'd try it out, see how it works, and we'll go from there. So let's get into today's vlog. All right, so it's a little afternoon. I've got a meeting back at my 9-to-5 job at 2 o'clock, so I figured I'd take a little bit of a lunch break, go grab a bite to eat, and kind of hammer out, brainstorm this process of what it's going to take to reach this one-year goal. And the interesting thing, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, was the speaker actually challenged us to take your one-year goal and get there in 6 months. So that way you're being extra productive, and it's a challenge, and it's not something that you got to take lightly. So I kind of took that to heart. So 2019 is really kind of turning out to being the challenge accepted year, if you ask me. I've already started the 30-day challenge from Scott McKenna, and now this new 1-year challenge, finishing it in 6 months. So we're gonna start where we started last night with the brainstorming and coming up with the steps that we need to take to actually get to that goal. So so we're gonna jump in head first, and we'll see what happens. So let's see here. So 1-year goal, the one that I worked on yesterday that I want to work on again today and kind of flesh out a little bit more, is adding commercial work to my business plan. So this is something that I want to add to my portfolio. Right now I've got wedding videography and cinematography kind of as my forefront and my main line of business. But I would like to add commercial work for local businesses and small business here in the Dayton area. So one of the things that we worked on yesterday, apologize, it's really freaking cold in Hothead, but one of the things that we worked on yesterday was developing steps in order to get to that goal. So so number one is portfolio work. So portfolio work and developing, a system on how to create them. What goes into it, the correspondence, from a business standpoint, what goes into it. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to gain paid work until I have some work to show for it. So I need to gain that portfolio work. Most of this is going to be through pro bono. So number two, identify target client. All right, so this is who is going to be my target client? What is going to be my target audience for this work? Am I going to be focusing on continuing down the wedding path and working with like wedding coordinators and maybe photographers and things like that, so that I can kind of cross over my business from the wedding film side of my business plan, or am I going to kind of go into like just a generic small business type of thing where I'm just making commercials for small businesses? Doesn't matter what it is, so I'm like more of like a broader audience. I think starting out, I'm going to be more generic with a focus on wedding planners and wedding business, small businesses. So what I've done already as far as portfolio work goes is I've got a couple different Facebook groups that I've reached out to business owners, small business owners here in the Dayton area that might be interested in getting a free promotional video done for their business. Now, whether they use it or not, what I'm trying to do is get the experience under my belt. So I've already reached out, and I've probably got about 15 candidates that are interested. I'm only looking to make 5 or 6 videos, so what I'll probably do is the first step to that work is going to be identifying who's a proper candidate, who's going to be, who's going to fall into what I want my vision to be, and what do I want my portfolio to look like. So I need to go through those applicants and find out which ones are going to meet my needs. So narrow down portfolio work. So, like I said, I'm not going to be doing the full 15 people that expressed interest in my offer. I'm really going to narrow it down to 5, maybe 6, and then if more work, if I feel like I didn't get what I needed out of those 5 or 6, then I can reach back out to those other applicants and say, hey, I'm going to do another round of pro bono work. I would like to speak with you individually. So to get that, so after narrowing down that portfolio work to the ones that I want, to those 6, we'll put 5/6. So after I narrow down the portfolio work, I need to create first contact. So this is going to be, first contact is going to be, kind of like a welcome email type of thing, explaining to the 5 or 6 people what I'm looking to do, what they're going to get out of it. The final video or final film that they receive what can they do with it. They don't have to use it. They don't, they can, it's really kind of from my standpoint, it's just to get me the experience. So then obviously number 5 is create first meeting. So create first meeting. So this is going to be meeting with the individuals that I've chosen to work with, and kind of develop a plan of attack. What are the, storyboarding? This is going to be storyboard, vision, target audience. What are they looking to do? Through vision and target audience. Who is their target audience? What is their target demographic? Their vision. What would they like to see an outcome? Like, how can they measure success from this product that I provide them? Obviously, if someone's just in it to get the free promotional video, that's great. But I want to take it a step further, because I want to make sure that what I'm creating is doing what they've set out to do. So, during this meeting, if I say like, hey, what's the vision? What do you want to see? What outcome do you want to see out of this video? And they say, oh, well, we're just looking for something to get our name out there a little bit more, get in front of more people. We've never done video before. We've never had a video created for our business. Okay, well, let's talk about the vision. Let's talk about the target audience. That way we can measure success. Because if you don't measure the success, and you're just creating video just to create video, and you're just spinning your wheels. So having some type of vision in mind, having your target audience, having a goal, right? Those are all things that you need, and all that stuff is going to come. Storyboarding that's going to be limited during this first meeting. It's going to be like, okay, what kind of things were you guys wanting to, what kind of things are you, if the video was about this napkin holder, what about this napkin holder did you want to emphasize, right? Did you want to emphasize the fact that when you pull a napkin out, there's another one that's right there? Did you want to advertise that there's advertising space on here so you can talk about local businesses and talk about advertising on your napkin dispensers, and then or what type of internal advertising are you going to be doing in there, right? So for me, it's all about finding out what the client wants out of these videos, and that's gonna be the big thing. So let's see here. So those are kind of like the steps to beginning the portfolio work, right? And I haven't been paid yet, so kind of going back to the main business plan to add commercial work. This is kind of like the preliminary stuff, right? Figuring out how I'm, what my target audience is, how I'm going to create these meetings and conduct these meetings and these documents. One of the things that needs to get done is contract, right? What's going to go into a paying client's contract? Obviously, with these 5 or 6, the contract is going to be a contract that doesn't talk about money or anything like that, or payment or anything like that. It's going to be kind of a blank contract really to start out, but I still need a final version. So these ones, these are all going to be like pretty new, so like 3 months. So those are all going to be done like the first 3 months. Like obviously the actual creation of their videos isn't going to be done in 3 months. I'd like to get 1 or 2 of them done in that time frame, but scheduling and things like that, scheduling these meetings, scheduling contract meetings and things like that, is going to be a big part of it. Let's see here. So going back to like the overall commercial work to my business plan. So something else that kind of falls in line with portfolio work is website, right? So we're going to need a website to display the portfolio. That's huge, right? You can't get work if you don't have work to present, and if you don't have a place to present it, then you're not going to get work coming in. Marketing and sales plan. So marketing and sales plan. So up until this point, right, from here on up to here, I haven't made any money, right? So everything, time, energy, equipment, all those costs are costs that I'm eating, right? It's costing me money to make these videos for these people. So I need to figure out, how much I'm going to charge for this, how much I'm going to charge for this service. Do I charge by the hour? Do I charge by the job? Do I charge by the final product? Like how many videos it is? Is it a case-by-case scenario, or is it just something that's oversees every client that I ever get? That's a big part of it. Marketing, on the other hand, it's gonna require me to have some level of experience under my belt, and that's where the 5 or 6 people are going to come from. The 5 or 6 businesses are going from. Based on those 5 or 6, I can kind of narrow down which ones, were the turned out the best, which ones do I feel like I'm most comfortable with, which ones do I feel like are most lucrative that have the same goal as me, and then I can start to develop a marketing plan on how to gain more of those one or two out of the six. Maybe all six will be great. Maybe all six will be like, hey, you know what? This was fantastic. We'd love to do business with you again. And then it's like, okay, well, now I gotta, I might have, two or three different marketing plans going different directions based on who I'm doing business with. It could be, a wedding. It could be, small business. It could be, anything. So each one of those is going to have a different marketing plan and how to get more, drum up more business. So this is kind of like the process that they talked about yesterday at the Tuesdays Together group. Is take a goal. Like this is one of my 1 year goals. So in 2020, I want to have commercial work in my business plan. I want to be able to offer clients commercial work for their small businesses and things like that. Take one of those goals, break down what you have to do to get to that 1 year goal. And then, of course, we kind of started here with each of these numbered out. Figure out which one's the most important. Figure out which one needs to be done as soon, and give yourself a timeline. So tonight, after I get done with my 9 to 5 job, I'll go back through and we'll kind of elaborate a little bit on each one of these. Kind of give each one, like how we did with the Create First meeting, we kind of broke that one down. I'll do that same process for each one of these so that I can figure out, okay, to get my portfolio work done, I got to do step 1, step 2, step 3. And then to identify my target client, I got to do step 1, step 2, step 3. And then for each of these main bullet points, figure out, okay, that I need this done. I need my portfolio done in 6 months, right? If I don't have my portfolio done in 6 months, how am I possibly gonna be able to develop a sales plan and a marketing plan for 2020 so that I hit the ground running, right? Because if it takes me 9 months to create my portfolio, right, and then a few months after that to create my website, now all of a sudden I'm in 2020 and I haven't even started marketing. I haven't even started, figuring out target client, identify my target client yet. Like, there's a lot still on here. So, so this has to be done as soon as possible. But in order to get that done, I got to narrow down my portfolio work. I got to, develop what my first contact's going to sound like. I got to, outline what my meeting is going to be like, identify key points of what that meeting is going to entail, and then, before I can start doing business with people, I got to make sure I know what my business is going to offer, how long it's going to take. I need to know, how much it's going to cost me to do my services, my overhead. I need to know how much I plan on making for all that. So there's a lot of things that go into this, and when you don't plan on this type of stuff, when you don't look at like the different steps, you fail to plan. And when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. All right, let's get back to work. All right, guys. So got home, got some dinner, worked on the computer a little bit, and then went ahead and got the kids to bed. Just gonna close out this vlog for today. I hope you guys had a great day. Went ahead and took a look at my list from lunch, and then broke it down a little bit further. We took the different pages, We took the different items and broke down what it would take for each of those individual items. So like, portfolio work, reaching out to potential clients, narrowing down potentials to like 5 to 6 people, develop contract, develop what the first meeting outline is going to sound like. All that stuff goes into the portfolio work. And then we also gave those different individual items due dates. So all this is going to be done by May 31st, with May 31st being the shooting the actual shooting day and editing the video. So we've got like a January 27th date to actually reach out to the potential clients, which we've already done, narrow them down, and then develop what the first meeting is going to sound like. We've got till February 10th to develop a contract, what the contract's going to look like, and then February 28th is actually scheduling a date to shoot. And then, like I said, May 31st would be our date to have the actual edited video finished. So it's a lot of fun, kind of going through those steps and stuff like that. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Figure out what you want to complete. You know, is it your 3 month? Is it your 1 year? Is it your 3 year? You know, and figure out what it's going to take to get there. Break down those steps. Give yourself a timeline, and then go for it. Because how else are you going to complete these tasks without knowing what goes in them, and giving yourself like a due date? So, again, Tuesday Together group was a lot of fun. I really appreciate the hard work and effort that went into their meeting. It's encouraging. It really is. I feel kind of energetic and ready to kind of tackle the world after going to those meetings. I think we talked about it yesterday. And this is, I'm glad to see it's just carrying over into the next day. So tomorrow's a new day. We've got our last day of work, and then we have Friday off. So I'm pretty excited to get a full day's work in on video editing and things like that. So have a great night, guys. Really appreciate you watching the video. If you stuck around this long, make sure you leave a thumbs up, leave a comment below, share the video. Do whatever you feel is necessary that you enjoy, to let everybody know that you enjoyed the video. So thanks so very much, and we will see you guys tomorrow.